Hey everyone, Andrea here. Welcome to Karchermakes, and today we're talking all things Advent knitting. So for this year, I'm not going to do a traditional daily Vlogmas. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I just can't commit to doing daily vlogs, which is kind of sad because I really enjoyed doing that last year. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to keep up with my WIP Wednesday videos, hopefully, and then I'm also going to do a sit down each Sunday of the season, share with you all of these beautiful Advents, and talk about all the projects that I'm knitting, maybe crocheting, working on for the season. So before we get into all the fun festive making I have planned for the next month, let's first talk about what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the End Times cardigan by Amy Young Gunderson, and this is a fantastic pattern for Advent making. Now, I chose to do this in 553 different colors. Obviously, you don't have to do that. But I have a whole entire video dedicated to this project that I will link down below. You could very easily make these squares solid instead of two-color intarsia if you're intimidated by intarsia. Don't be. There's a fantastic tutorial that comes along with the pattern. But I understand that, learning techniques, new techniques can sometimes be daunting for folks, but you could absolutely do these as solid mitered squares too. When I made this, I incorporated several different Advents into it, and then I also used a ton of leftovers and scraps. Additionally, I'm wearing last year's Freckled Whimsy Advent socks. They were called Merry and Bright, and these are DK weight. I am working on improving my DK weight pattern for socks. Normally I would do 48 stitches on a US 3 needle. That seems to be a little baggy, a little loose for my foot. I think over time I'm becoming a looser knitter. So what I think I'm going to do this year is modify that slightly to get a better fitting sock. Let's talk Advents. I have 3 different Advents this year, and then also this year's Freckled Whimsy Advent skein. And like I just mentioned about last year's socks, this is also DK weight, Serendipity DK, 7525 Superwash Merino Nylon. And you can see I have not taken it out of the package yet, so I don't know what the name of this is. But we do have, I did get the version with the 25 gram mini, and I'm going to be casting these on later so that I can go ahead and get started with the cuffs and be all ready to go for December 1st, which is tomorrow. So I went with one daily Advent this year, and this is from Wool and Vinyl. It's going to live here in this giant basket, because when I unpacked this earlier today, I completely forgot it was a 31 skein Advent, which is amazing. Mostly Advents usually come either 24 or 25 mini skeins. This one is 31, and I needed a bigger bin to put this in. So the theme of this Advent is 80s themed music, and the inspiration pick is amazing. I love all of these bands, and I cannot wait to open these Advents and see the colors, see the bands and the songs that Wool and Vinyl has selected for us here. And then also there's been already a few treats that were in the box. So there's some Fun Dip, which I grew up in the 80s, so this was very much a staple candy of my childhood. There's some rock candy. Were you even a child in the 80s if you didn't have rock candy? And I will tell you, there were a couple times when we were kids that we tried to make our own rock candy. It never worked. but we tried. But love the rock candy. There's some stitch markers that look like little cassette tapes. We'll open those one day. There's some cord keepers, which I don't have any of these. These are going to come in handy. I need these. And then there's also this candle, which I haven't opened yet, but I'm really interested in getting this open and seeing what it smells like. It says sugar, plum, and citrus, which sounds amazing. So I'll be opening these every day as the season progresses through December. Next up, I have a 12-day advent from Rising Tide Fiber Company, and the theme for this one, it was too cute. I couldn't pass it up. For the love of dogs. And I have 2 little Yorkies. I love them very much. I'm very much a dog person. So when I saw Melissa's theme for this, I jumped right on it. Now, this is a 12-day advent, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually wait until the 12 days of Christmas, the real 12 days of Christmas, which starts Christmas Day, and then open these. That will give me a little bit of something to look forward to after all the excitement of the holidays is coming to an end. And I apparently got the full skein with this as well. Now it is numbered 25, but I'm going to wait until the last day to open that. So I don't know what I'm going to make with this one yet. It is, again, only 12 skeins, so I may make, or maybe I'm thinking about making a cowl, a scarf, something that can really lend itself to the 12 skeins, or depending on what this main skein looks like, maybe I'll do something that includes both of them. So my last advent is this one from Frogget Yarns, and it is themed based on the Dream Harbor book series by Lori Gilmore, which are just really cute, sort of rom-com. I call them Hallmark fiction, Hallmark books. It's very sort of cozy, cutesy, sort of romantic type books. Very easy reads. Nothing too spicy, too smutty, but they're cute books. And what's interesting about this one, so it's a weekly advent, and I got the DK version. I'm going to open these every Sunday, one every Sunday. But what's interesting is it came with 5. Now, there's only 4 Sundays in November, so guess what? We're going to open the first one now. So the way she has these organized is just based on the series of the books. So the first book in the series is called The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And I love that they include the little picture of the book on the package. That's very cute. So let's see what we have for week 1 of our advent. This is the official first one being opened of the season. Oh, so not only did I get the DK weight, apparently these are sock sets. I had no idea. I clearly didn't read the listing too well. I was too excited and just clicked. But this is perfect based on that book. Like I said, it's called The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and it's all about a character who inherits her aunt's cafe and takes it over, and she moves to the town and makes some friends, makes a lover, and these colors are really, really perfect for it. So again, here's the book cover, and then here's the color. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. And I'm very excited that they are actually sock sets and comes with the mini. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet either. I think I may save them up and make some sort of cardigan out of them. Depends on how cohesive the colors are. I did talk to Tasha at Frederick, and she shared with me that they are somewhat cohesive. So maybe these become some sort of cardigan, possibly a, what is it called by Andrea Mowry? the Comfort Fade Cardi, that cardigan that fades through like 5 or 6 colors, and then it has that really pretty shawl collar. Maybe these become that. We shall see. Which that's a good segue to start talking about what I'm planning on actually working on for the season of December. I will definitely be working on these socks from Freckled Whimsy, doing a stripe a day. And I do have my Santa Claus Lane yarn from the Sheepy Shire caked up here. Look how pretty this is. So I did cast this on Thanksgiving, and I have a cuff started, but that's really it. It's just a 2x2 cuff, 64 stitches on a US 1 needle, and it's living here in this little ball sack, as they called them, from Steel City Stitcher. So cute. So I'll be working on those socks. I'll be working on these socks. I'm still working on my previous WIPs, which, if you're new here, I've been working through the Jethro cardigan, which is a pattern by Tanis Lavelli. I should actually get that finished today. I only have the cuff of the sleeve yet to do, so that should only take a few minutes. I'll get that done today and then get it blocked. But other than that, I have a couple other WIPs that are kind of languishing. But I don't think I'm going to worry about knitting with the 31-day woolen vinyl or the 12-day Rising Tide Fiber Company Advents in the immediate term. What I want to do is wait, see what they look like, and then see what patterns really speak to me so that I can knit those in the future. So I had this Advent from last year. And this is from Frogget Yarns as well. And the theme for this one was Watercolor Winter. And it's a 25 day advent and 20 gram skeins. So this is quite a bit of yarn. And it is very much it's probably hard to tell the way I have them strung up here, but it's very much a sort of gradient fade in a rainbow sequence. So it goes pink, into purple, into blue, a little bit of gray, into this more sort of turquoise, yellow, orange, and then tan. Now, I originally wanted to make the trifle wrap by Helen Stewart out of this advent. However, I'm kind of past my shawl knitting phase. I'm more into garment knitting right now. So what I think I want to do is make a cardigan out of this. Now, there's a couple different options that I'm thinking about, and I'm really running out of time because I would like to get this cast on and started. So if you don't mind, give me your opinion below. Out of these 3 options, which one do you like? Which one do you think would work the best with these colors? So the first one is Stephen West's Bubble Cardigan. Now, the thing with this one is I did the math based on the yardage, and I may be 1 mini skein short of what the yarn requirements are for the pattern. Now, that's not a big deal. I have 8 million leftovers. I have at least 553 colors that are left over from this cardigan that I'm wearing. So not really a huge deal that I'm maybe a little short. But I love how the cardigan looks. I love the bubble stitch that he has, and I really think that it would be beautiful in a rainbow gradient sort of fade. So the next option would be to use this advent along with this Surrey alpaca fluff that I have here. I have a few skeins of this here. And make the Macaron cardigan by Espace Tricot. Now, the only thing that gives me pause on this one is that the sizing is not listed in the pattern page on Ravelry where you buy the pattern. You have to buy the pattern to see the actual sizing and the yarn requirements based on the sizing. Like, it gives the general gist of it on the pattern page, but not the details. And if you're a designer, please don't do that. I'd prefer that they list out sizes 1 through N, and then for each one of those sizes, what the yarn requirements are in yards or meters, so that I can determine before buying the pattern if it'll work for the yarn that I have and the yarn that I want to use. So that's the second option. My third option is the JC cardigan by Isabel Kramer. And what drew me to this one is this, it's basically stockinette, as you can see, but it has this very sort of, and I can't tell from the picture, I zoomed in to see if I could tell, it's either eyelets or it's cables or it's both, but it has this little textured kind of border around the yoke and then around the hemline that I just think is so sweet and pretty. And for these types of colors, I think it would turn out quite well. So let me know what your thoughts are. Which of these 3 cardigans do you think would look best with the Frogget Yarns Watercolor Winter Advent? If you have a different cardigan or pullover in mind, leave it below and maybe you'll inspire me to just make something else that's neither of these. So lastly, I'm going to be making the Mystery Gnome Along from Imagine Landscapes, Sarah Shira. And this year it's Nandad's Grand Adventure, and looks like he's gonna be a skier. Now, I'm not a skier. I've never skied in my life. It's not something that even remotely appeals to me. But last year we made Nana, and here she is. Here is my Nana from last year, and I just used leftover yarns and I made her some knitting needles and some knitting. She's working on a little scarf project. So I figured this year, Nana needs a friend. So I'm going to be working on Nandad to go with her. So just like last year, for this year, I'll be using leftovers that I have because, well, I have a lot of them. So I chose to go with the same green. I still have a lot left over. Same green that I used in Nana. And then I'm going to use this white for, I think it's going to end up being Nandad's beard. And then I just chose this black and this gray. And obviously it's a mystery. We don't know what he's going to look like, but based on the description that Sarah includes in the pattern, I think these 4 colors should work well for Nandad. And my plan is to just work on them as the pattern instructions release, which prior years they release every day something, but not every day is a piece of the pattern. Some days are recipes, some days are coloring pages, some days are the actual pattern. And then there's also a whole storyline that goes along with this project, which I just think is so cute and special. And I know that takes a lot of work to do. But Nana's going to be getting a friend, and we're going to find out what he looks like. So I think that covers all my plans for my December knitting for Advent, for KNITMAS. Please be sure to subscribe. Come back for more. Like I mentioned, I will be hopefully keeping up with the WIP Wednesday episodes where you can see progress on all of these projects that I'm going to be working on. And then I will be filming regular kind of sit-down episodes like this. And those will hopefully go up on Sundays so that we can see all these beautiful Advent yarns and all the fun festive making. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Until then, happy making.